Chat, I don't know which bed I prefer more. I don't know what's going to be more comfortable. Could you help me out here? I've got the first ever bedskin submission made by Mr. Shedman, the Phantom bed. It does look quite nice and reflective in the sun, but I don't think you're going to have it outside, are you? So it does look quite nice. But then, of course, we also have the Halloween submission over here. Called the Sacrificial bed. Yeah, no, I'm conflicted. Before I proceed with this video, I understand it might be a little bit too long for some of you. So if you could just scroll down and take a look in the description, you'll see I have provided chapters. Now take a look at all these brand new skins. You might notice it's a pretty interesting looking rust store with some very cool looking skins. And of course, if you don't fully understand, I will explain further. But if something has caught your eye and you just desperately want to see it right now, just look in the description. It's all chaptered. You're more than welcome to skip ahead. I have provided that to you. We have some very, very interesting skins being accepted today. But before I even talk about this, I have to talk about next week. You got to keep an eye on my Twitter, because I've been mentioning a lot of things. So if you're not fully well aware, beds have been confirmed to become skinnable next week. For the October 4 swipe update next week, we're going to see, most likely, bed skins in the rust store. So this has basically been confirmed by Mr. Alistair himself. What a lovely, lovely, lovely picture there. I'll put these tweets in the description, don't you worry. But he has confirmed they are in staging. That's where we were just a minute ago, you know, in this video. For you, chat, it's been a while. But you can also read this just over to here. Going forwards, we're aiming to release one new Skinnable almost every month till we run out. We're going in a rough order from most requested based on several recent community surveys. Oh, I wonder what surveys they... Oh. If you've been keeping track of my recent videos, I have been talking about how they asked about what brand new weapon skinnables would you like to see? And of course, very recently, what brand new tool skinnables? So, okay, everything added up quite nicely. Are they still going to ask about potentially deployables and clothing next week? There might be another survey, basically. Keep an eye out. So, they have basically confirmed, yes, from here and now, every month, with every update, we're going to see a brand new skinnable. So, if you've been complaining about the variety of skins over the past, several months, I guess you could say, at the very least, from here and now, for all those people yearning for a bed skin, and a handmade LMG skin, and an SKS skin, and a small backpack skin, all of that, I think we might be seeing that happening fairly soon. So let me just give you a nice hypothesis, based on the fact that at the same time, they mentioned that handmade LMG and beds would become skinnable. I'm pretty confident handmade LMG will be the skinnable for November, right? You've got handmade LMG skins to look forward to. Ooh, very nice. So that was just a nice quick little segue, but I had to bring it up. After you saw the beds, you're probably a little bit confused. But just to reiterate, you can only look at them in rust staging at the moment. So that's why I couldn't change the time or anything. So, okay, cool. Let's now focus the skins that we have right here in front of us because, well, those are some pretty interesting choices. I can confirm to you, we have the third skin in the small props collection. That's what it's referred to now. So it's no longer small box collection, small props. Now I will say, I will mention this very quickly. We had the skin creator in my chat earlier. We're discussing this because he actually made a bed skin. He was going to put a bed skin out over the course of this weekend. He actually had it uploaded today. I looked at it. And I said, look, you've just got the third small box skin accepted in a row. You're in a very, very, very good position. So we peer pressured him to do the cards box next. It's probably the best thing for him. I asked the chat, I'll ask you right now. He made a pretty cool looking bed earlier, but I just straight up asked you, what would you prefer? The first ever cards box to be added to the game, potentially, I mean, it'll be a submission, but you know how it is. The first ever cards box, or potentially a cool looking bed skin. And everybody here said they wanted the cards box. So he got the hint. There's no right answer, but I mean, with the momentum he currently has, yes, a cards box would be most preferable from everybody else. And if it appears for October 4 swipe next week, when loads of people see it, because loads of people like to turn up for 4 swipes, I think he will be getting a lot of sales, not only because, of course, it's the fourth skin potentially in that small props collection, but we have never seen a cards box in Rust. And I think a lot of people will want that. So feel free to comment below. What are your thoughts in regards to that? Over the course of this weekend, we very likely will be seeing the cards box being made. Hopefully this time. Supposed to do it last week, but anyway, moving on. Sinotype explosive. This is the first instance where the newest skin for Sinotype was accepted immediately, because we had a bit of a delay after we had to complete the sets, and it was the older skin that was being accepted over the past like 4 instances. But no, with that being submitted literally just this past weekend, that has been instantly accepted. And the steaming pile of charcoal, that wasn't accepted, but eventually I could see it happening. So we still question though, how far will it go? I'm still questioning if we're going to have 2 weeks or 3 weeks of Halloween this year. And of course, next week we're rolling into October. But how far will it actually go? And will it actually continue in November time? More specifically, how will people behave when we go through that break? Will we only see Halloween skins? Will we see Sinotype skins drop off? Will the prices drop because people will panic? And yes, they will panic. They're not very smart. We'll talk about that when it happens, won't we? Now, should I just get straight to the point? Do you notice this tier 3 armor right here? Oh, I'm sure you've seen the short video I showed of it. However, the chest plate is different. Whilst the face mask is the same in that short video, they did change the chest plate here, the version 2. That doesn't have the bright green eyes anymore. It never glowed, and it still doesn't glow. You'll see that for a bit in a minute. But yes, that is technically speaking green camouflage. It's not the most green of greens, but it is still green tier 3. After so much time of people begging in the chat and on YouTube, non-stop, I've read every single one. Oh, you never shut up. For so long, people have been begging for more options for green. And, well, I think you potentially have a very nice, very, very nice budget alternative option for green camouflage now. Because you can pair this up with flashbacks, hoodie and pants. You could go whip out a fish kilt or a cell kilt, and I think you have a very viable, cheap option now for green camouflage, and I think a lot of people should be quite happy. Why aren't you happy, chat? Start screaming. Anyway, that's all nice and good. Let's now take a look at all the brand new skins and figure out which of these skins are abnormal. Okay, so just to make things easier, I'll point this out. Small meds box, this is not abnormal. The fallen boots, they are not abnormal. And of course, the Grub double barrel shotgun is also not abnormal. So that means all the other skins there, they are in fact abnormal. We'll be chasing after an Abyss M39, an all-seeing eye garage door, a Fort MP5, a Nuke Vibe AK-47, Pixel wooden double door, Sinotype explosives large box, and Temple tier 3 next week, Wednesday night, right? And I think you definitely want to turn up for that because, again, we got some pretty interesting skins. So, by all means, comment below, what is your most favourite skin being accepted today? It wouldn't surprise me if it's the tier 3. However, I think there will be some people pretty happy for the small meds box. People pretty happy, of course, with the Sinotype explosives. I've heard non-stop people like telling me, oh, that's the best Sinotype we've ever seen. All right, fair enough. I mean, everybody has their own opinion, but it does look good. It does look good. So, okay, cool. So, I've got to point this out. There's a bit of a strange pattern I've noticed. Do you know when we had the focused item month for July, the salvaged ice pick? We had a complete the sets for our store in August, like a month later, and we got a salvaged ice pick skin, didn't we? We got the prototype one. Why am I mentioning that? Because last month, the focused item of the month was the wooden double door, and now just before we end the following month, we just got a wooden double door skin being accepted. I think we have a new pattern where next month, towards the end of October, you very likely will see an M39 skin being accepted. I know it sounds a bit odd, but I have noticed this. So if I could just quickly switch over to here, almost towards the end of August. Yep, scroll down. Where's that? It is. Yep, prototype ice pick. And of course, towards the end of September, oh look, as you can see over to here, wooden double door. Alright, cool. I mean, I thought I should mention it. Let's see if that pattern continues as we reach the end of October next month. However, that'll be Halloween Hedge. Well, I mean, we're still probably going to see like an M39, so we'll see. We'll see. Okay, cool. Right then. So, at the moment, let's just refresh. Are we fully up to date? I don't think we are here. Let's go to Rust Help. Rust Help tends to be a little bit more up to date with the sales. Cool. So I can confirm the Rust are rotated at 10 o'clock at night in the UK, which is a bit later. Not like super late, but later than normal. And we should also point out, next week, it's October Force Wipe. We're going to have an early roster rotation. That's like 100%. Usually, but like, okay, 95% chance it's going to be an early roster. So I'm talking about like 6 o'clock, well, like 4 to 6, yeah, about UK time next week. So early. Early roster rotation is expected. Maybe you might just miss out a few hours compared to a normal roster. Maybe these skins might not sell that much. But if you're the type of person to wait to the very last second to buy a skin, you've got to be extra careful with these skins. Early rush stores can happen very early, so literally when we do the abnormals, literally right there and then you might need to purchase the skins if you're interested. So overall, we've got some interesting designs, some interesting collection continuations. So as you can see, Rust Help notices this is referred to as the Small Props collection. Can confirm we've had some nice spike in demand, spike in prices moments here, lovely. So yeah, no, I have no complaints. This is a very interesting look of Rust Store, and I can confirm we still got extra late picks. Pixel Wooden Double Door was submitted over a year ago. Fallen Boots 6 months ago. Anything else? No, this all seems to be fairly recent. So okay, cool. Shall we now proceed? Go through all these skins and question which of these skins potentially is going to be a very nice investment. Sinotype explosives. So just to repeat, and I am surprised by this, and unfortunately I can't get the workshop page to appear for this. Sinotype collection has been progressing, but we didn't get charcoal. But I still expect charcoal eventually. So if I could just quickly hop back over to here, go to the workshop, and you'll see for yourself that we did see charcoal. It's not been accepted. I don't know how many boxes we potentially have left. And I don't think we have that many. If we were to potentially only have 3 more Sinotype skins, what would you like demand to see? Do we really need to see another stone box? Do we really need to see another wood box? Do we really need to see another drop box? Do we really need to see another electrical box? What would you prefer? And what haven't we done yet? I still think there should be a Sinotype fridge. Not a large box for food, but a fridge. More appropriate, I guess you understand. But anyway, let's see if that eventually happens. But I do think we'll probably get like 1 or 2 more skins in November. And then that's it. That's what I think is going to happen. I'm not sure if the same would apply with the fridge being accepted at a later point, but yeah, we'll see. Clone box. Wouldn't that be more appropriate to be a farm box? Large fuel box? Do you really need a large fuel box? You just got a small collection box, so binocular box. Okay, right, here we go. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's going to be wrapping up at some point in November. Be careful as we go for October. And in general, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed skins have gone down in price. Why am I looking at tank armor gloves? Oh, you'll find out in a bit, don't you worry. So anyway, I'm not actually seeing that many skins on the front page, which is quite surprising. But you will have noticed prices have dropped off. This is normal, and this was expected. Today, we only reached a peak of 108,000. September really has dropped off. But it was expected. I did warn you. Hopefully next month we do see quite a lot of people turning up. Could it be exactly like last year, where we suddenly saw a lot of people returning, they stuck around, and towards the end of the year, it was awesome, and at the very beginning of the next year, aka early this year, in January 2025, so many people turned up that we beat the all-time peak player count. Still hoping for that. So in regards to what we see going on over here, you might have noticed, on average, all these Sinotype skins are around $3. And I anticipated this when I first made that video quite some time back. I'll go search back for it now. Do you remember when I made this video all the way down over to here? When we first saw like the first and second Sinotype skins being made. So come on, Hedge, what are you yapping about? I'm yapping about this. I remembered the behaviour of the graffiti storage collection, and I remembered as we went through the first instance of a dip, most of the skins ended up at around $3. But then when we went through the next good time, we saw the prices progress very nicely. What I'm saying is the Sinotype is very likely going to stagnate for a while. But then once we start rolling into November, and of course December and January time, you might start seeing it slowly go back up in price. So it is expected. If you're trying to get the whole collection but you've missed out so far, try and grab it in October. Try and grab it in October. Like, The behaviour tends to repeat over and over and over again. Rust is very, like, easy to expect in most instances. So, yeah. So hopping back over to here once again. If you look at some of the skins that are slightly down in price, and then you look at some of the skins slightly up in price, on average, they're around $3. Okay, cool. So anyway, explosives box. Will you be appreciated, or will we see the trend of the sales going down slowly? I just want to quickly confirm. Last week's Sinotype Sulfur only did 34,000 subscribers, aka it's the second lowest selling skin out of the whole set. Now, there might be some factors in regards to, well, maybe people already spent all their money. Maybe people aren't playing Rust as much. Again, quite a lot of the portion of people have disappeared. They have to go do homework. So anyway, I think with explosives being appreciated more compared to the more recent skins, and if it doesn't sell that much, oh yeah, that's looking very interesting. And like I said, today's Rust store is a bit late. Next Rust store is going to be very early. We might not see that much time for this explosive large box. It actually might be in a very, very, very interesting spot. But of course, with it being abnormal, we don't need to rush into it right now. By all means, if you want to buy one for yourself, go buy one for yourself. However, if you're looking at it and wondering, oh, maybe I should go buy 100 or 50 or like 1,000 if you really wanted to. Yeah, long term, I would expect it to do quite well. In the short term, I think this could be potentially one of the skins that actually stays in the positive. But again, it might end up just being stuck at around $3. So maybe better off with a buy order. Again, with it being abnormal, we can get those early buy orders in, get a good look at it afterwards, then we consider if we actually want to jump in and make some purchases. I'm sure you understand. Cool. So, we've seen a type explosives looking pretty interesting, and with some potentially interesting factors, if it doesn't sell that much and whatnot. Should we just hop in game right now? Give it a good look, and you can tell me, well, you know what? Maybe it kind of does look nice. Or maybe if you don't like it, you can express your disdain, but I don't think there's that many of you. Anyway, come on, let's go hop in. And here we are in game. Mr. Ace of Rage, I am kind of surprised, but give it time. We will eventually see charcoal, because I've got lots of jokes to make about that. I am looking forward to it. So just to confirm, in this particular instance, the top has a different name. It quite literally says explosive. But over to the side, it just says boom. And I think a lot of people would prefer that. If only there's like some short names for all the other ones, because a lot of people have struggled to read the side panels here and the other ones. Can you read it? It says B-O-O-M. Boom! Anyway, sorry. So yeah, we've seen like tons of these by now. But yeah, what's your opinion? Do you like this one? Do you prefer it? You've got the explosive rockets. And of course, you got like the the hazard symbol for a mine exploding. I'm pretty sure that's universal. Obviously, it's not like bright yellow and whatnot, but yeah, you'd know. If you know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what it is. So let's just give this a nice quick look at night time. With the light right next to it. Of course, in many other instances, with all the other Sinotype skins, it is fairly reflective. What you care more about is how does it look in total darkness. I can confirm, super bright, super noticeable. And in this particular instance, with it being like pink and purple, it does stand out a lot easier compared to the other skins. Quite a lot of people were a little bit annoyed that we had quite a lot of skins with like red and orange and very similar colours. I can confirm, pending you don't have problems with your eyesight, like colour blindness, this is quite noticeable. Don't you look at the pictures? Well, you can't when they're all stacked up, can you? Oh, yeah, understandable there then. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? Feel free to comment below. But like I said, I get the feeling we're almost going to wrap this up soon. So in theory, if you could only have 3 more boxes, what would they be? What would you prioritise next? I personally do hope they do make the aquatic design. Someone suggested that in the comments, and I gave it to the skin creator, and he actually sounded very interested with that. A generic or generalised aquatic theme large box, because we don't know what we're going to need to build boats with the naval update. And also you can put your diving equipment in there as well. So nice and generalised, quite appropriate. All we need is a picture of a boat and maybe like a diver. That would be cool. Anyway, let's now talk about the next skin. And it's just over to here. But we have the third small prop skin to be accepted. And let's just make it nice and quick. Does it glow? No, that doesn't glow. All of them don't glow. So we now have the Meds box. I did have quite a lot of people. A lot of people said, Hedge, I don't really like it. That's fine. To be honest with you, does it matter that much, considering that we will probably be seeing more skins being accepted? Okay, it's an active collection is what I'm saying. Now, by all means, if you don't want to buy it for yourself, that's fine. But it does match up quite nicely with the other skins. So, of course, we have had Fuel and we've had Diesel. But what will we see next? Well, we already mentioned it earlier. We kind of peer pressured the skin creator to focus doing cards next. I do kind of feel bad because his bed skin was pretty funny. Like it's a nice reference. But with the position that he's in, with these small boxes being accepted constantly and consecutively, it's probably for the better. And we know for a fact that everybody here did say, everybody did say that they wanted cards box. So I'm pretty sure over the course of this weekend, you'll see a very nice playing cards theme pack style design for all of your key cards. So once again, do you like it? Once again, doesn't glow, but with the lights on, it is quite reflective. Just want to point that out. A nice grounded approach. Maybe the playing cards might be a little bit goofy, but hey, we'll see, we'll see. But I do ask you right now, what would you like to see being made next? For a nice grounded approach, I honestly thought like a wicker basket. Like a wicker basket for like a farming box would probably be alright. And again, a farming box could also be like a seeds box and whatnot. I mean, what's a nice generalised term for farming and seeds? Agriculture? Yeah, but would you actually write that in the box? And yeah, just put farming on it. It'll do. Anyway, will this collection actually go far? Because quite a lot of people probably don't realise, and I will have to make a video talking about this now. In most instances with small box collections, they end at 4 or 5. Have you noticed? Well, we'll have to talk about that next. Let's hop back in to the websites and point this out to you, and we'll question. Is this looking to be a nice investment? And how much of an impact has it had? When this, with this being accepted today, have these even gone up in price that much? Well, like I said, let's hop out of here and discuss that right now. Right, we're back. So let's talk about the small boxes. So last year, we saw technically speaking, we saw two small box collections. We saw the little bases, and then we also saw the supplementary neon small boxes. So what I'm referencing is the base boxes set up by Mr. 38. Yep, do you remember these? They didn't really hold. They're cute. They glow in the dark, but it didn't all really hold up very nicely. Because didn't they all sell for like $2.49? Yeah, so that was a thing that happened last year. But that didn't really work out very well. Again, it's more of a gimmick instead of like saying, this is for tools. And of course, this is for fuel. You get the idea. So that was something different. Of course, as I've already mentioned, we did get the neon small boxes, but only 5. So this is where I'm kind of questioning, are we only going to see 5 with the small props collection? Large box collection, lots of skins. Small box collections, only so many. Just a small collection. I get it now. Anyway. So, it's definitely questionable. But like I said, we still do not have a cards box. And I think if everything lines up perfectly next week, I think a lot of people are going to be very, very happy because we still don't have that. So many complete the sets and we still do not have number 19. And let me remind you, we have all the other numbers except number 19. And the OCD in me is very upset about that face punch. We still do not have the missing number. I feel like at some point they will accept it eventually. But, Anyway, so let me also point out the sales that these skins did as well. Initially, the small neon storages, they did like 50,000 subscribers. You can see they're struggling still today. But they have recovered. And as time goes on, they will all end up in the green. That is to be expected, all right? Seeds box, that actually sold quite a lot less because people are a little bit panicky after seeing these drop in price. That only did 26,000 subscribers. That's comfortably in the positive. But only by so much. So now I have to talk about these two skins. So apparently small fuel box has actually gone below $3. It's still profitable, but it's still below $3. More and more people started listing theirs. Again, why do other people exist? Why? What compels you to list all 30? I own 30. Do you see me listing mine right now? Anyway. So the potential to see even more skins, very likely. We've encouraged the skin creator. Yeah, we definitely want to see cards box next. And I'm pretty confident he will have it out. And I'm pretty confident a lot of people can look forward to it so nicely. So, yeah, cool. Small box collection is progressing. Prices are doing very nicely at the moment. I have no complaints. Will the Meds box work out quite alright if we were to see another box being accepted after it? Well, Just look at small diesel, you know. Only became marketable today when the rust rotated. And currently right now, it's only slightly in the positive. Was it only going to be the small fuel being the one skin that goes up in price by a lot and all the other ones are just okay? I wonder where we've seen that type of, pattern happen before. I wonder. Yeah, it's very similar, isn't it? So perhaps all of these small box skins, they will actually suffer for a while because, of course, we're going to go for October. Halloween, yeah. Halloween's going to cause some problems, isn't it? But at the very least, we could still see at least 2 more being accepted. That is my expectation. So the more the merrier. And of course, I ask you, do you like it so far? If cards is next, what potentially would you consider to be the 5th one? Comment below. I'd love to see what you'd say. And of course, the skin creator will read it as well. So if a lot of people say the same thing, it might happen. Anyway, cool. Shall now move on and talk about the next skin. All-Seeing Eye Garage Door, which just so happens to be number 30, I believe, number 30. Yep. Number 30 for garage doors this year. We still have October, November, and December. We still have Halloween and Christmas. I do believe we're going to surpass last year's record-breaking amount of garage doors. With 12 more rust doors. Oh my. Actually, I think it's like 13. Anyway, actually, no, I think it's actually 14. Because I think Christmas is also 5 weeks. I might be wrong there. No, because 1st of January is the Force Wipe and January 1st this year. Yeah, okay. Anyway, All-Seeing Eye. You're a cool looking design. A brand new skin. Who made you, by the way? Wagan. Okay. I know a lot of people made some jokes about the Oasis collection. When we saw the sheet metal double door being accepted, quite a lot of people saying, it's the All-Seeing Eye, ha ha ha. Well, now you literally have it. Is this going to work out nicely because people make jokes about it? They're going to roleplay as the Illuminati. Anyway, so in regards to what we have here, are we going to see large box skins, locker skins? Are we going to see like chairs, tables? Are we going to see like a rug? What do you reckon? At the very least, you've got to keep an eye on what Mr. Wagan's going to make next. Have people been asking? Chat, maybe you need to start asking. Anyway, so congratulations to him. Over the course of this weekend, see what he's working on next. You might only see a few skins for a while because, of course, Halloween. It's just around the corner. But I've got to sit here and say I'm still a little bit worried about it. It's a garage door. Did you notice the prices of all the garage doors over here? Well, you might notice a bit of a problem because they're all in the red. Except, Mystic Tree. Mystic Tree, you're doing good. People like you. But all the other ones, ooh. So, unfortunately, far too many skins being accepted. Too many options. And it's a struggle for them to maintain your interest, and it's a struggle for them to maintain their price because of that. So, this isn't a case of the more the merrier. Got to point out, though, Popstar Garage Door is actually doing very nice. Only down by 10%. The power of anime! Anyway, sorry. You're not anime. But maybe it could still work out quite all right. Sales might not be that high, but it is currently the 3rd highest selling skin. So we'll see how things pan out. This is also abnormal. So if you want to just purchase one for yourself for fun, but then see how things are by Wednesday night next week, that's fine. That's going to be the smartest choice. Be patient with abnormals. Take your time. Get as much information as you can, and then consider what you want to do, of course, on Wednesday night next week. So, shall we now hop in, take a look at this, and you can tell me if you like it or not. It just occurred to me, someone needs to do like a Santa, a Father Christmas themed skin like this, because he's always watching. He knows the naughty things you've done. You're not getting any presents this year. Someone's got to do that, actually. That sounds like a really funny idea. Anyway, the All-Seeing Eye Garage Door. What are your thoughts? Do you like what you see? Whilst it's a fair bit reflective, it's not like very reflective. I'm kind of surprised by that. So let me just move the sun around just to get a good look at it. So, not that much. Okay, fair enough. Well, of course, night time. The light's right next to it. Even then, it's not that reflective. Interesting. Well then, what about total darkness? Well then. It's not super in your face. It's quite like a decent, respectable amount of light glow. So from a distance, I mean, it's noticeable. It's noticeable. But yeah, it's not like super blatantly trying to blind you. Now, that is certainly looking to be pretty interesting, especially if we could see a collection. But you know what? I kind of question this. Did the top part glow? Well, let's find out. So, if I could just quickly do that, and of course, no. Alright, well, it's not the end of the world. It's still a perfectly fine looking skin. But, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't glow. Because you, as I said, I think you might have been a little bit too naughty. You can't have all the things in life, because you've got to be a very good boy. Santa's always watching. Sorry about that. So many people begged and pleaded for this. Are you pleased? Now, I should clarify something. You probably did see a short video of me like showcasing this in the grassy areas and, of course, in the jungle. But I have to just quickly point this out as I get a little bit closer. This chest plate is different. Only the chest plate is a version 2. I get the feeling that Kosen, the skin creator, must have heard some feedback from people. A lot of people just assumed it glowed in the dark. It never did. But yeah, he removed the green from the temple design that we've seen in all the previous skins. Perhaps it was for the better. Because, of course, with what you see here, like I said, whilst it is green, not like super blatantly very green, if you know what I'm trying to say. You know, like Forest Raiders. But I have already tested this out, and it doesn't really stand out that much. I think you very likely have a nice, affordable, tier 3 piece here, where it's like, okay, if I can't spend like $50 on tier 3 armor from Forest Raiders, I honestly think this is a perfectly fine good shout. And the only way to truly understand that is if we do a little bit of mixing and matching and do some comparisons. And so, well then, what do you reckon? This set right here is a very approachable, very affordable budget set. Again, after, you know, this video is out and whatnot, maybe people might end up buying it, but all of that together probably costs about maybe like $15. The most expensive piece, of course, is the gloves. I am wearing Forest Raiders boots there. We can exclude them. You could just wear frog boots. I kind of needed them to be there for a second. You'll see in a second, because again, I didn't really have any room. What do you mean? Oh, you'll see in a sec. Anyway, Sail Road Sign Kilt, Flashback hoodie and pants. Flashback hoodie is still like only $1.50. Pants are like $5-ish. That is very approachable, very affordable, and now I ask you, are you impressed? Maybe we might need to do a little bit of a mix and match, and you can tell me if you think it really makes that much of a difference. Because I can tell you what the difference is. The difference is about $200. There is 4 Forest Raiders right there in front of you. And now let's go back over to what we had just a minute ago. Just a tier 3 there. You could just switch out just the hoodie and pants as well. You could save a lot of funds just by switching out Forest Raiders hoodie and pants and tier 3 armor. And I honestly don't think it makes that much of a difference. Now, you could probably still buy the Forest Raiders kilt as well. I mean, it might only set you back about like $100, but you also have like the fish road sign kilt. There's definitely other options out there. But with what you see right here, very approachable, very affordable. But would you still probably prefer to use Forest Raiders? Well, first of all, let's just quickly take control and move up nice and close, because one thing I didn't do was just quickly point out, well, how does this look at night time? With the lights on nearby, I just want to point out that this isn't very reflective. Look at that. Look at what you have right there. That, honestly, doesn't seem to be a problem to me. Now over to here, the face mask. Both pieces of the tier 3 are $2. I think we've got a pretty good thing going on here. So, okay, cool, fair enough. Now, does it glow? No. None of it glows. The face on the chest plate doesn't glow, it doesn't stand out, none of it stands out. There is no concern, there is no worry, okay? So once again, I ask you, what are your thoughts? Do you like what you see? And also, if you're a little bit concerned in regards to the red on the hoodie, well, if I could just quickly show this. We've actually switched to a reptile hunter kilt right there as well. But let me just show you this. So yeah, the red kind of does stick out depending like how hard you turn. But honestly, doesn't seem like too much of a problem. And I've got to give it to the kilt. That actually looks quite nice there. But we apparently we have heard word that the skin creator behind the temple collection does intend to do tier 2 next. I mean, here's hoping. Here's hoping. But come on now. We can't just stand on a stage and do quick switches and comparisons. We need to actually go out there in the foresty areas, in the grassy plains. We need to see how much of a difference there is. Well then, chat, I ask you, do you like what you see? I'm wearing the military camo AK-47 there with my budget option for some green camouflage. Let's just pull away. Do I blend in quite nicely? So from a distance, with the grassy plains in the background, does my budget option do quite nicely? Got my head in the leaves of a tree. But no, still, look at it. What do you reckon? Comment below. Tell me what you think. Because honestly, it looks like it's doing a pretty good job. Do you really need to spend about $300 on a full set of Forest Raiders with the likes of what we have right here? Are you impressed? Because again, you might say the Temple Tier 3 kind of looks more brown or a bit grey, maybe a bit more like, I don't know, I'm trying to, like, a bit yellow. But no, honestly, it's vaguely green. And that's all we needed. That is all we needed, wasn't it? And it's doing a very good job. Now, Forest Raiders. The peak. The magnum opus of green camouflage. Always desired, but out of the grasp of many people who can't afford it. So a minute ago, we of course just showcased to you that the budget option seems to do a very good job amongst the grass, of the fields and the plains. If we could just pull back, you'll slowly realise that yes, Forest Raiders is very good in the grassy areas, the foresty areas. I've just hit the tree again. So, tree's very camouflaged as well. Yeah, what do you reckon? I reckon I hate this tree and I'm going to cut it down in a second. Anyway, yeah, no. It's expensive for a reason. You'll be running along the roads, keeping an eye out for all the loot that you can grab. Trying to make sure you don't get ambushed and whatnot. You don't want to be shot right now, do you? Do you see them? Have you spotted them? Because over to here, in the bush, that right there, there's looking to be some very effective camouflage. What do you reckon? Again, that set right there doesn't cost too much. If I could just quickly take control, I definitely did have enough vision to shoot you. Are you impressed? Feel free to comment below. Same thing again, but to be honest with you, you kind of been spoiled with the surprise. But is it super noticeable? Forest Raiders is very, very good green camouflage. And we're essentially proving it. So yeah, not too bad, not too bad. But again, did our budget option work out quite nicely? Are you impressed with Temple Tier 3 so far? Well, let's now go ahead and showcase it in the jungle. You're travelling through the jungle, just trying to find some loot. You're still stuck as Prim, but maybe, God, look at the ruins there. We can go get some lovely, lovely loots. Finally get somewhere, get a nice base. Nope, you're dead. What? Ta-da! So yeah, what do you reckon? Let's pull back again. Does it get nice and concealed? Was it super obvious that it was there? Come on now, be honest. So back over to here. Let's get up nice and close. Are you impressed with the budget option? Temple Tier 3, you are perfect. I mean, I have absolutely no issue. And if we see Tier 2 next week, I mean, oh yeah, I'll definitely be showcasing that as well. And if you're worried about, oh, well, surely he's like, you can't see anything, right? Well, no, he could see you easily running along and you're dead. So, yeah, not too bad. Let's go do a quick, comparison with the Forest Raiders. I mean, again, it's another instance where it's like spoiled to you. You know exactly where to look. Is it easy? Is it easy to spot them? I mean, you know where to look now, so it's kind of obvious. But even with like the shade there, that's doing a very, very, very good job of concealing him. So Forest Raiders, with all due respect, you are very effective for what you do. What you're made for. Our budget option, I think he did just as good. I think Temple Tier 3 will be appreciated. But perhaps, considering it's the last frost off of September, we've noticed quite a big drop with the player count. Maybe that's why it's not selling that much. So, if you're interested in other options for green clothing and armour, I'll definitely recommend this video right here. When the jungle update came out, I grabbed as much as I could, different collections, mixed and matched and whatnot, and I, of course, tested it out in the jungle. Now, it's not exactly the grassy green plains as well. Actually, I think it is. I've got plenty of chapters that you can see right here. Open area test, tree test, standard test. Like, there's lots of things here. From bombshell collection to flashbacks and reptile hunter, of course, just a green jacket, ghillie suit jacket, forest raiders set. You get the idea. Even blackout, just to see how effective it was in the jungle. So give that a good watch. I'll link that in the description so you can quickly look for it yourself. And now let's talk about the skins that we just showcased with the budget set. So this right here is tank armor gloves. It's probably the cheapest option you have for some green gloves. I mean, you could probably go for bombshell, but then they have like lots of yellow and red, and yeah, okay, fair enough. And over to here, we have the flashbacks pants. They're $5.50. We have the hoodie. Of course, that's still $1.50. I bought so many of them back in January. We have the reptile hunter kilt, $5.50. And of course, at first we did showcase the cell kilt, which is only $1.50. If you really want to go for a budget option, honestly, all of that was quite approachable. But in regards to like the Forest Raiders collection, so let's go back over to here. Let's just search for Forest Raiders. Just the pair of boots, they're like $9. It's kind of like the most approachable thing out of all the clothing and armor here. So if you do deduct the deplorables, you're looking at like $375 for all of that. It was quite effective, with all due respect, I can say that, but I gotta say, the budget option that I showed you seemed just as effective. So with that information, you do what you want to do. Hey, it's getting closer to October. The prices are going down. I'm just saying. Maybe I might want to go ahead and look for a nice budget green option there for a camouflage set. Just saying. Cool. So I'm sure you got that in your head. But I do apologise for like taking my time to showcase the different options and mixing and matching and testing out camouflage. But I want to make sure when you watch my videos, you get a good showcase. Some people probably just say, here's the skin, cool, and then move on. No, I want to make sure that you get a good look at it. I want to make sure whether you like actually want to buy it or not. So now I ask you, for a simple price of $2 each, how effective do you reckon the Temple Tier 3 was? And I should also point out, how long has it been since the roster rotated? How on earth are these sitting here as the 4th and 5th best selling skin? I don't think these are going to sell excessively. Or maybe they do after my video. We'll see. But yeah, honestly, I think there's some very interesting things going on here. And the skin creator has said he does intend to do tier 2. And if we do get tier 2, I'm going to be super happy. Of course I will. So if we never end up with the hoodie and pants, it won't hurt so much because we still have flashbacks hoodie and pants. So now we wait. We bide our time. Will Temple Collection get a collection continuation? Oh, we'll see. I wonder if he does another door. Oh, don't do that to me, Kosem. But hey, he might want to take his time. We'll respect that. But just to remind you, we didn't get that chest plate. We got the new chest plate. So cool. But yeah, he'll probably make another door. Don't. Well, that's up to him. He's the skin creator. $2 a piece, and both of them being abnormal, we definitely have something to chase after next Wednesday. And if you're a little bit confused in regards to abnormals, well, if I could just quickly remind you, as I scroll down over to here, look to the left. Do you see all of these yellow thumbnails? Do you see all of them? Yeah. That's the many instances of me doing abnormal barters. On Wednesday night, I'll look at the total sales and I'll take into consideration what prices I want to offer for all the skins. We'll chase after the skins because we know exactly when they become marketable. With abnormals, super handy. You get the early insight. You can see how much interest there is initially. You can get a kind of good idea whether they're actually going to retain their value or not. So next Wednesday, quick look in the description right now. You'll see the links to all my socials, more specifically my Twitch. Feel free to jump in, say hello. We'll talk about all the prices, what we might want to offer for the skins, because of course by then maybe this goes up to just about 30,000. This might be probably like 25. And then of course with all these other skins, they might sell a lot more respectfully. And if that happens with the tier 3 here, oh my, I think we're doing some good prices, and I think we might be buying a bunch of them. I might have to clean out one of my accounts. I'm not joking, because I can definitely see some very interesting things ahead in the future with this. So cool. So feel free to offer your own opinion in regards to what you think about tier 3 here. But yeah, I think that was quite effective. And I think you are definitely going to greatly appreciate a nice budget green option in the future, along with many other people. And so with that, shall now proceed and talk about the next 2 weapons skins here. We have the full MP5 and the Abyss M39. So regards to the full MP5, I must point this out. Unfortunately, MP5s in general, in terms of their skins, they don't seem to be holding up very nicely, which is it's a bit awkward. It is a bit awkward, but it's a pretty interesting, nice looking design. If I could just quickly hop over to here to the workshop, produced by Isaac and Oasis. When I first saw it here, I thought it was like an America themed sort of skin with like a red, blue, white. Looks like it. I thought these were like stars, but no, it's like gemstone. It's an interesting sort of carved out design, and when we showcase it in game in a minute, you'll notice it. But I'm just not sure if people are going to be super eager for a non-transparent aim sight MP5. Like if I could just quickly go back and show the comparisons with the recent MP5 skins we've seen, with the transparent aim sight Dominus Mortis MP5 go down almost half in price. Termite MP5 again has a transparent aim sight down 60% almost. Even the Heatseeker MP5, however, that did get like 65,000 subscribers, as you'll see right there. An absolutely absurd amount, but then again, that has the absolute best amount of transparency we've ever seen for an MP5. I don't think this is going to hold up, I'm sorry to say, but just by looking at all the recent MP5s, things aren't looking very good at the moment. Perhaps it's because people just simply don't appreciate the MP5 itself. Unfortunately, that very likely could be the case. So, okay, understood. We're a little bit iffy with that one. But what about the M39? What about the M39? Well, number one, this is part of the Abyss collection, which, whilst not all the skins are in the positive, quite a lot of them are. There is some interest in the set. You have an AK-47 that's actually in the positive. That's a rare sight to see. Boots and gloves doing very, very nice. Like, one thing I've noticed is, when these skins do good, oh, they do good. They do good. But what about you, M39? M39 submissions and acceptances used to be very rare. You used to hardly ever see them. But of course, it is the focused item of the month. Well, you are the last one, in theory. I mean, I did bring up her point earlier. There seems to be a bit of a pattern where there's going to be a likely instance that you see one of these potentially being accepted next month, towards the end of next month, October. So, Halloween M39, you say? Yeah. If you're a Ruskin creator right now, you might want to go ahead and make a Halloween M39. I'm not joking. If you're the only one, ooh. Anyway, so okay, that's pretty interesting then. But $2.49 for both of them. Are they actually going to retain their prices? Well, I mean, let's go in game now. You can get a good look at both of them, and you can tell me whether you like them or not. And here we are. Get a good look at the Fault MP5, which appears to be short for fault line. So if you know your geometry, oh, clever idea. Okay, so is the ground ripping up? And are the gemstones bulging out? Perhaps. But yeah, look at that overall design. Nice and shiny. But is it like all chiseled in? Yeah, look at the texture. Looking pretty interesting there. But anyway, if I were to ask you, if there were to be another like item being made, a brand new skin for this proposed potential Fault collection, what would you like? L96? Yoka? What about a large box? Or maybe some armor? Oh, tier 3 armor of this would look pretty sweet, wouldn't it? With like the gemstone sticking out at the bottom. You could have like a tear. Like, that would be pretty cool. Let me just hold it in my hands. Give that a good old test. Giggle at that. That helicopter is stuck. Maybe those bullets might help him out. Anyway, yeah, look at the shine. Looking pretty sweet. I aim down with a very useful red aim sight, which should stand out in all environments. However, in the shade, it doesn't seem to do a very good job standing out, which could be a bit of a problem. But how does it look when we, look at it at night time? I can confirm it doesn't really stand out that much. No. Okay, well, you can comment below your thoughts. Do you think it looks cool? What, item would you like to see potentially being made next for a skin? Offer your opinion. You're more than welcome to do so. So, yep, it's a perfectly fine looking design. But now, I think we should go ahead and showcase the next skin. The Abyss M39. So, are we likely going to see another M39 potentially being accepted anytime soon? As I said a little bit earlier, I did point out that it appears when we have a focused item of the month, we potentially might see another one being accepted like a month later. So I'm just saying, there was a lot of submissions for M39s. You might see one again towards the end of October. Or, as I said, maybe a Halloween design. Halloween design probably would make sense. If you're a skin creator, got to consider it. You've got to consider it, you know. There's definitely a pattern there, so if you make the early one, you might be getting it accepted. If Face Punch does appear to stick with this potential like pattern. Anyway, night time. So, do you stand out? The purple would stand out perfectly fine in all environments during the day, but at night time, I do not see it. That's kind of interesting. Well, okay then, fair enough. But yeah, let me just give it a nice little reload. Oh, no. Reload. There we go. Sorry. Okay, well, what are your thoughts? Feel free to comment below. And you know what? Let's go over to here. Switch back to the MP5. Make it nighttime. And tell me, do you like the shine on this? Look at that. Very shiny. Those gems, they do stand out very prettily. Look at that. Let's just rise up a little bit more. Get up nice and close. Yeah. I think the skin creators did a very good job. I'm just a little bit iffy based on the fact that it's an MP5. It's the item. It's the item itself, not the skin. And I would like to see some armor of this. I think you could make some very cool, very clever designs with that. So I do still question this. It might be a 60 cent to 80 cent barter by next week. But do keep an eye out for potential collection continuations. But do be aware, we do have Halloween coming up. So, okay, fair enough. Why don't I go ahead and now showcase the M39. So, with that. And this doesn't appear to be as reflective, but it still is noticeably a fair bit. So, okay, cool, fair enough. Now, over to here. Yeah, I really got to keep an eye on my hand there. It's in a bit of an awkward spot. But yeah, Abyss collection. Over the course of your existence, you have actually done quite nice. Prices for some of your skins have been rising ever so nicely ever since you appeared. But, and I ask you, do you like my idea? I've actually hopped onto the M39's comments page, and I said, would you consider doing an Abyss bed? And you're going to sit and say, well, why would you want an Abyss bed? Because the monster won't be under the bed. The monster will be the bed. Ooh, okay, well then. If you get silly, would you like to see it happen? Comment below. Now, let's proceed to talk about the next skins. So are these two weapons being abnormal? We can take our time, keep an eye on the sales. Next Wednesday, we'll look at both of them. We'll see what their sales look like. We'll question, are they actually going to hold up? Did we potentially see any collection continuations over the course of the weekend? You know, things like that, that matters. And then we'll figure out prices. We'll race to put those barters down. We'll look at it afterwards. And then we'll question, oh, do we feel confident it's actually going to hold up with a certain amount of barters they may have and for how high the price might go. We'll leave it at that. Let's now talk about Nuke 5 AK-47. So, if you aren't fully well aware, this is a collection continuation. Doesn't notice it here though, so let's go quickly switch over to here. Stay up to date. Nuke Vibe collection consists of 3 skins. When we saw the garage door being accepted quite some time back, a lot of people did like it. It sold very nicely, but then it dropped off really hard. After seeing the sheep in the door appear, yeah, it did kind of bounce up a bit, but then both crashed real hard. We've got a lot of garage doors and we've got a lot of sheep in the doors, so that's not too surprising. But then when we question the amount of AK-47s we have, oh, don't even get me started. That's like the most populous skin for an item we have in like everything. Like, it's between that and sheep in the doors for sure, but yeah. In short, we have tons of AKs. This has to stand out. This has to look special. And if it doesn't, unfortunately, you know exactly what's going to happen next. But I also have to mention this. Don't we currently have 2 Twitch Drop AK-47s? Yep. Yep. So, as you can see, we have 314 other skins. That, of course, includes Twitch Drops and whatnot. And, oh, there you go. You have the Emery AK-47 and the K Katamina and, of course, Ryan Heger AK-47 out currently right now for the next 5 or so days. Those do look very pretty. They do look very nice. And they're also available for absolutely free. I worried about the PTNT AK-47, knowing that these are going to come out. It has suffered. I worried about the Throw Raw AK-47. It's only become marketable, like, very recently, already down by a fifth of its price, and it very likely will end up like this as well. And you there, Nuke Vibe, considering the prices of your other skins, I'm a little bit worried, especially with it also being an AK. But again, by all means, maybe it might look good. So, should we quickly go hop in game, give it a good look? And then after that, I've got quite a lot to talk about in regards to these boots. Oh yeah, so first of all, AK-47. Get a good look at this. Or maybe don't, because it's very dreary. Scary, creepy. Ugh. What happened to you? Well, that's definitely a mystery so far. Nuke vibe is a specific kind of vibe, and that's why I mentioned the Twitch drops, because the Twitch drops do kind of look pretty and, well, cute, I guess you could say. It's Ryan Heger and K Katamina's design. Starry sky, the gold trim, that looks very nice. Emaru's Catgirl made AK-47. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to stand up and say, yeah, I like that. But with this right here, creepy, scary, dreary vibes, I'm not sure if everybody wants that. That's why I worry about it a fair bit. So first of all, you might notice standard aim sight, red aim sight, should be good for all environments. Yep, no problems there, I got no issues. It's just, yeah, with the previous two Nuke vibe doors, they're not exactly holding up. I don't think the collection is appealing to that many people, and I kind of do worry about it. At night time, I can point out the aim sight doesn't really stand out that much. In fact, even though it's got like quite a lot of yellow, because it appears it's got like a hazmat sort of material design, it doesn't stand out. Nightlight is not helping this out at all, so yeah, it's just a little bit concerning. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Die, helicopter. He's been stuck there for a while, hasn't he? But yeah, I think this might just end up being like a 60 cent to 80 cent barter. So let's just quickly hop on stage, make it night time. Is it reflective? Yeah, it's a fair bit reflective. The hazmat texture definitely kind of reflects quite nicely there. So, all right, cool. Let's just strike a pose. Do you like that smile? Feel free to comment below. But yeah, it's just probably not what people are looking for at the moment. If they did like a rug and really kind of showcased how like screwed up that guy looks like, maybe that might be quite appealing. Maybe this deserves to be a Halloween skin. Maybe they could do a continuation. I mean, I've just seen a Hell Hammer, you know, from Hell collection seems to be alright. Do you reckon that's alright? Feel free to comment below. So skin creators, start plotting. And maybe make an M39 for next month. Yeah, it's up to you. Right, so yeah, perfectly fine. But now let's go ahead and showcase those boots with its clothing and armor collection. And now it is time to showcase the fallen boots. Get a good look at this lovely bony design. Yes, low piece, it's a lot of bones. But don't worry, they're not mine. It's all good, it's all good. So yeah, this has been quite a wait because those were submitted 6 months ago. But what we have right here is essentially, mostly a complete collection. Still waiting for tier 3 though. How many times have we said that? Where's my tire tier 3? Where's my funerary tier 3? Where's my deep ruby tier 3? Where is my fallen tier 3? Well, Robstar, I certainly hope you're motivated to consider making a version 2. Or just a resubmission. Either way, I'm not going to be upset. But with these bones, I've kind of looked at this in the past and considered that it might be nice desert camouflage. What do you reckon? Because I know you're going to mention the red. But are you even aware if the red even stands out that much from a distance? These skins here, they're not very pricey. After not seeing the boots in the tier 3 for quite some time, the prices did drop off. But now, with the collection continuation, I'd like to showcase to you a nice, you know, comparison. You know, like what we did earlier with the green camouflage and the forest raiders. Desert raiders is also quite expensive. I think we need to look for other options. Now, of course, let's just quickly showcase this at night. I want to get this across to all of you. It doesn't reflect that much. The inner parts of the eyes of the skulls kind of do. But, yeah, the bones, does it really stand out that much? I don't think it's that much of concern. So, okay, cool. What about total darkness? I mean, oh, sure, whatever. There you go, doesn't glow. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? So get a quick look at this with the tier 2, the hoodie pants, the boots, the gloves, you get the idea. And of course, we'll do a bit of a switch. Yeah, there's Desert Raiders. And altogether, that costs about, what, $250 now in total? It's a bit pricey. Like, whilst loads of people are fussing about white camouflage with whiteout, and green forest and plains and fields camouflage with the forest raiders, a lot of people didn't notice how much Desert Raiders was rising up in price. So that whole set there cost between $250 to $300. During the summer, oh, it was above. Oh, it was comfortably above. But prices have dropped off a fair bit recently, so okay, fair enough. So could we potentially find a nice, cheaper option for some desert camo? Well, I think I've got a good idea. Let's have a little showcase right now. So, what do you think? You still notice the red. Okay, well, let's just pull back. Let's just try and keep myself like at a grounded level. And the more I pull back, the more you start to notice that the red on the chest and the arms, they're not as noticeable. And the more and more we pull back, do you notice the red as much anymore? How about now? Well, how about now? And suddenly, this Fallen collection actually does appear to be pretty good, reasonably viable desert camouflage. Now, again, you might just sit and say, I'd rather just spend all my money on desert raiders. Fair enough. But this is for the people that can't afford it. Fallen collection, it does look like it could work. But to be honest with you, if you're not that keen, you can do a bit of mixing and matching and you might be able to pull something off. So what do I mean? Say hello to Sand Rhino Tier 3. So I've definitely mentioned this in the past. You could go look at my older short videos. I've definitely brought up potentially using Fallen as a nice desert camo alternative option. If we never see Tier 3, you can use Sand Rhino. That has the exact same like colour scheme as Desert Raiders. Of course, you got like a rhino chest and a weird nose and whatnot, but it does blend in very nicely with the environment. It's unfortunate because we never got to see any more of it, even though it was submitted. Sand Rhino hoodie and pants, Sand Rhino Tier 2, nope, no acceptances. Even boots and gloves, nope, nope. So yeah, as we move back a little bit more now, what do you see? Well, it certainly is blending in a little bit better. Do you like it? Feel free to comment below. And for those curious, well, if you really want to spend $30 to replace the pants, there's the Desert Raiders pants, paired up with the Sand Rhino Tier 3, the Fallen hoodie, the Fallen Roadside gloves and boots. Again, do you like it? Are you a fan? So, Desert Raiders. If you exclude the weapons, that's about like, it's got to be about $14, $15. Anyway, you deduct that. All the clothing and armor, $270. If you just remove the Tier 3, right, replace it with Sand Rhino, see, these two pieces together, they cost over $120. But I assure you, 100%, you switch out the Sand Rhino right here, I mean, you're saving well over $100, 100%, 100%. The colour of this matches and blends in perfectly with Desert Raiders. So, you know, just food for thought. But anyway, the hoodie and pants, I mean, together that's, what, 60? Oh my, $60. Just those two. Boots and gloves are actually quite cheap. I'm actually, you know, surprised by that. $3, $4.50. That is considerably cheap. But these, oh, they are very expensive. Like, you could buy all of this, right? And you honestly could just switch out the boots and the gloves, the hoodie and the pants, and the Tier 3. And I think you'd do a very good job. I mean, that's like replacing the whole thing almost. Yeah, almost. You could keep the kilt, but the kilt's like $20. To be honest with you, I honestly think Fallen Collection's a fairly decent option. But if you want to debate that, you're more than welcome. What will happen to the boots, specifically? Well, if we ever do see Tier 3, and I did ask again today, would the skin creator consider it? Could you consider it a nice Halloween option, perhaps? Anyway. The gloves, you did just over 10,000 subscribers. Hoodie and pants did about 11,400, 11,600. And Tier 2, 11,000. Like, honestly, especially with the position it's currently in, it doesn't look like it's going to sell that much. And it does look like, you know, rough estimate right now, it does look like it's going to sell less compared to the rest of the set. If we do see Tier 3 being accepted, and I should remind you, you don't have to buy the Tier 3, you could just go ahead and grab that. Yes, that is a little bit pricey, but so much cheaper compared to Desert Raiders. I think the boots are actually going to have a very interesting time ahead of them then. It actually might be an interesting thing to consider. But again, Desert Raiders boots are $3. That's $1. Would you just probably stick with the Desert Raiders boots? Or was it even that different? I mean, well, again, let's go hop back in game again. Let's go see. So once again, get a good look at that. I think it's fine. I don't have too many issues. Again, from a distance, I don't think the legs are as bad as people truly think they are. And of course, if we could just quickly do a little switch, like so, and, well, what do you reckon? There's not that much of a difference. Other than about $100 for the tier 3. So, I think it's alright. But you, offer your opinion. Comment below. Could that work out quite nicely? Well, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. We'll see. If those boots do sell quite a fair bit less compared to the rest of the set, yeah, they do look pretty appealing. And for 99 cents, it couldn't hurt to just buy a few maybe. But wait it out. Let's wait till Wednesday, see how it looks, and we'll see if tier 3 actually gets made over the course of the weekend. Keep an eye on Mr. Robstar's workshop. I did ask, and he hasn't responded, so we'll see, we'll see. Right then, so we'll move on from there. We have 2 more skins to discuss. We have the Grub double barrel shotgun, and of course, we have the Pixel wooden double door, which just so happened to have waited over a year to finally be accepted. So, did we just have a double barrel shotgun literally the previous week? Yep. Okay. How's that currently holding up? How are you currently holding up? So you are already down in price by... Okay, so, yeah. That probably immediately gives us a nice insight. See, that was abnormal last night. We discussed prices, didn't feel confident, and it's immediately gone down. Well then, well... you are not abnormal, and you're not part of a collection, like Chameleon. Are you made by a brand new skin creator? Oh, hang on a minute. I think I've just noticed something. So if we quickly go over to here, and yeah. Moidura and Crypt. And it is the last roster of the month. We do tend to see that. That is a pattern. Well then, apparently they're a brand new skin creator. Perhaps you might want to keep an eye out and see what they make next. But in terms of double barrel shotguns, I am not feeling confident. No. Sorry to say. Sorry. I know you're new. But by all means, look, if you want to support a brand new skin creator, it's right there. You know, go ahead and grab one. Let's go in game. Give it a good look and you can offer me your opinion. Come on, let's go. Okay. Let's give you a good look, and I can see the weird grub body. I'm not really a fan of that, I'm sorry to say. Yucky. Anyway. It's not as flashy and shiny compared to the Chameleon double barrel shotgun from the previous week. Would you consider that a bad thing? I mean, anyway. Not too bad. Does look pretty cool. Of course, let's aim down as well. Apparently that's a transparent aim sight, so okay, cool. Fair enough. Give that nice little inspection. Give a nice little reload as well. Come on, where's something to shoot? Where's something to shoot? Alright, you know, I can see them right over there. I'm sure that'll hit them. No. But quick look at night time as well. Just to quickly confirm that. No, the night light on this doesn't seem to stand out very nicely. No. Okay, well, fair enough. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you like what you see? Also make it nighttime over to here as well. Does it reflect much? Not too bad, not too bad. Strike a pose, look pretty, and there you go. So, what are your thoughts? Are we going to get like a grub collection? I'm also noticing like there's some weird sort of like the grub is being prayed to. They are worshipping the grub. It's odd. Hey, I mean, it's their first ever skin, and I'm sure you can see a whole lot more creativity from them. So keep an eye out for any new submissions that they'll make over the course of this weekend, and, well, maybe Halloween as well. Could it get a lot more weirder? And lastly, we have the Pixel wooden double door, which I kind of have to sit here and say it was a surprise to see. Like I said, I feel like we've noticed a brand new pattern. So after we saw the nice... what was it, Heavenly Eclipse? Oh, I can't remember the name, but you remember that wooden double door I talked very highly of a good few weeks ago, because I thought, oh, that's it then. No more wooden double doors for a very long time. Well, thank you very much, Face Punch, for picking out a skin that was submitted over a year ago. I can confirm though, we haven't seen that many wooden double doors being submitted, but they still pulled it out. Anyway, so I think we might see a very similar sort of behaviour with what we saw with the armoured double door. Now, what you might sit and say, what on earth am I talking about? Do you remember last year when we got the armoured double door, the pixel armoured double door? And it didn't really have that many features in terms of, like, did it glow in the dark? No. Did it have, like transparency? No. So, like, I get the feeling it's just going to exist. Not sell that much, which at the moment is proving to be happening. And I get the feeling, as time goes on, will slowly creep up higher and higher in price, because that's just the way wooden double doors are. It's a perfectly fine looking idea. It does continue the Pixel collection. But you'll see for yourself in a minute, that collection isn't exactly doing super insane. But unless, like, Facepunch keeps doing this, picking out wooden double doors from long time ago, like, I don't think we're going to be seeing that many more wooden double doors for a while. But then again, Halloween and Christmas, you do tend to see skin creators being an extra little bit creative and diversifying ideas, and, you know, doing like wooden double doors and like armored double doors, because of course so many people do garage doors. So many people do garage doors. For the past 2 Halloweens, I've seen about 40 garage doors being submitted. In fact, like the vast majority of skins last year were deplorables. It keeps on happening. Maybe this year will be different. We'll see, you know. I'm expecting more beds. Will we see mining hats, miners hats? We'll see. It's the focused item of the month, but I get the feeling that might not be allowed, or maybe someone actually makes a very cool looking Halloween theme skin. We'll see. Let's hop out here, talk about this more, and see where it could potentially end up at. So Pixel collection as a whole, not really doing the best. But the armoured double doors still holding up quite nicely. Armoured double doors in general, they tend to do pretty good. They tend to be quite nice investments. We don't see that many of them. We might see it become a focused item of the month. We'll see. But you, as I've already said, wooden double doors were the focused item of the month last month. You might end up like Celestial Harmony wooden double door. Sell next to nothing, and just as time goes on, it'll work out. That was the expectation. We're also not expecting that many more wooden double doors. But from here and now, I truly hope... But again, it wasn't a recent submission. That was from a year ago. They've been quite diverse with their random extra late picks, aside from boots. But yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen again. I don't think it will. I should also mention these 3 have dropped off. Notably, see this military storage wooden double door? No transparency, no glow in the dark, same as that. I do believe the wooden double door will drop off, like this did. It lost 1/3 of its value. Will the same thing happen to here? Probably. You know what? A perfectly fine $1 to $1.50 barter would be okay. However, if that potentially sells even less compared to this, that might be pretty interesting. I do have to say that. And let me just remind myself, how much did the armored double door sell last year? Oh, look, 7,500. Scarcity can definitely help out quite a lot. So if you sell next to nothing as well, as time goes on, you might just end up like that. So yeah, pretty interesting pattern behavior there. So overall, with the skins, I'm not going to be surprised in the slightest if these will sell a whole lot more compared to these over here. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it'll be another week where it's nice and calm. Probably, we shall see. But overall, with the showcasing of the skins, I hope you enjoyed it. I do try my best to make sure that you enjoy and you see for yourself how effective some things are, especially the camouflage today. But if you have criticism for that, feel free to comment below, alright? I need to make sure that you can clearly see that things are quite effective for a much more approachable price. Alright then, so shall we now talk about all the other things that we've noticed? I will mention this. I'm talking a lot of people have been approaching me, constantly asking me, where's the other Twitch drop? Where's the other Twitch drop? How do I get it? I don't know. You've got to keep an eye out. If I know, I will tweet it out, and I did for this. And a lot of people are very happy about that. The very second I find out when the second Twitch drop has been made, like officially, like being dropped and whatnot, I will make a short video. 100%, I will. But it hasn't happened yet, so I can't say anything. Like, I wasn't supposed to showcase it and reveal it in my Twitch drops video. I was asked not to do so. I obliged. I wanted to make sure I didn't upset anybody. So I'm sorry to say, we've got to wait. I know there's like 5 days left, but you've got 5 whole days left. Got plenty of time. Stop complaining. Right, sorry. But I've got to quickly just segue over to here. I'm sure many of you are fully well aware, if you've been keeping track of the commits. For Halloween next month, we are getting a brand new item, or rather, a pack. Alright? So I'm going to choose my showcasing very wisely here, so you can do this yourself. So, of course, in the past, we saw the Lunar New Year pack. That's very nice. That's very cool. Well, it turns out, after many mentions of wallpaper being worked on in the commits, we can see some of the Halloween wallpaper right now, technically. Sort of. You see, whenever a brand new item has been inserted into the game, you do know you can just go over to here and look at items and, you know, SCMM will notice it. This has been here the whole time. You can just go to SCMM, you can see all the newly submitted things. Oh, look, there you go. Look at that. 4 wallpapers. Now, I'm under the impression there will be more. I am under the impression. But it looks like they got the icons ready for 4 of them. And oh, look, you can see all the Twitch drops. Oh, look, there's the rock. There's the, oh, wow, there's the rock. Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, lovely. So, yeah, you know, just look at items and SCMM. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do if you want to be informed of all the new things that appear. So cool. So, other than that, we are now looking forward to the idea of brand new Skinnables. What would you like to see being made next? I do think handmade LMG is going to be next, though. So, next week, bed. Next month, handmade LMG. But what next? If it's going to be clothing, because of course the pattern, I would like to see wolf headdress. I think wolf headdress would be very cool. I think a lot of people would much rather not have Lunar New Year like masks, but actually have some cool looking wolf headdress skins. And I think there's potentially a nice bit of creativity. However, it might be a little bit too complicated to set up. That might be something you have to be aware of. Chainsaws, salvaged axes, SKS. Oh, you know, I know you want that. Small backpack. I know you want that. I'm fully well aware. Okay, but just to remind you, I will put these tweets in the description so you can go look at it yourself. Look, Wiltram's asking for wolf headdress. Ah, we think alike. Yes. So yeah, some interesting things are definitely ahead. I look forward to it. So don't forget, keep an eye out for this video as well. That'll also be linked in the description if you want to go see some other green camouflage. I don't have a desert camouflage video, but then again, for pretty much all this time, we've only ever had desert raiders, so we don't have that many options. Also, we don't have like a desert update. It would be cool if we got like a huge desert added to Rust, but then again, would anybody find it fun? All right, anyway, so let's just quickly hop back over to here. Is there anything else that I need to talk about? Well, not really. I think I've pretty much addressed everything. But I will also point out the secret Twitch drops are not being shown here. So if you're getting a little bit panicky and worried and like, oh, I can't see it, it's on purpose. They don't seem to be wanting to add them here. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm sorry to say, you're just going to have to wait it out until something's been revealed, and then I'll make a short video. I'll showcase it to you, all right? Just got to be a little bit patient, okay? Who knows what things you might see if you just keep an eye out. Just relax, chill out, just be patient, all right? And the new things will slowly appear to you when the time is right. So there's all the skins for your Rust Ore this week. Quite a lot of positivity. Pixel wooden double door with an upvote to downvote ratio of 4.26. That is ridiculous. But then again, it did wait over a year. So, alright, can't complain. Now I should mention, at least on the Rust Workshop, a lot, and I'm talking about a lot of very cool, very nice looking Halloween skins are being submitted constantly. All the Halloween submissions, they have to be nice and ready for October 7, right? And then we might have 2 or 3 weeks of Halloween. Don't know yet which one it is, whether it's going to be 2 or 3. Yeah, lots of very creepy things are being made. I should also quickly point out, we do have a collection continuation from last year. Remember the awesome looking fridge? Well now, say hello to the awesome looking locker. Ooh, right, you get 2 of the guys in there now. Yay. 2 for the price of 1. Anyway. The collection link for all the Halloween submissions, which is set up by TGG, the Halloween contest link will be in the description. And are we up to date? Not fully, but we do have almost 40 skins now. So you could go take a look at them right now. Of course, maybe by the time you're watching this video, maybe it'll be a whole lot more updated. But save the tab. Keep an eye on it over the course of the next week or so. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see about 200 skins in total. That's my estimate. We'll see. It might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less. We'll see. But based on what I've seen in previous years, I'm expecting quite a lot. Now, how many garage doors do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 so far. Maybe it might be a bit more diversified. We shall see. But like I said and showcased at the very beginning of this video, we do have a bed already. Could we potentially see plenty more? Keep an eye out for this weekend. I will not be surprised in the slightest if you see a ton of submissions over the course of this weekend. Alright? The reason being is because a lot of skin creators are very well aware if they get the first ever skin acceptance, they will most likely see a ton of sales. This type of behaviour has happened a lot in the past. At the very least, I'll also make sure the link to all the bed skins, see this here? I'll put that in the description as well. If I could just quickly remind you, do you remember when backpacks first became available, when they were first skinnable? The first few skins that are accepted, No Mercy, Hard Suit, Large Hazmat, they sold an absurd amount. Well, I mean, you did 23,000, but more specifically these two. We had 2 backpacks in the very first rush store, with backpacks being skinnable, and No Mercy did 54,000 subscribers, Hard Suit did 31,000. And to this day, they are down pretty bad. Down 36%, down 63%. This has happened before with other instances where an item first becomes skinnable, and I'm putting a warning out there, right? I know we're very likely we'll probably see some bed skins being accepted next week, maybe 2, we'll see. Be careful. If you're going to buy one for yourself, by all means, buy one because you like it. But if we're going to make investments, ooh. So yeah, it couldn't hurt to just keep track of all the new submissions. Again, they'll be linked in the description. Just pace yourself, right? Just pace yourself. Right, speaking of pacing myself. So yeah, this is the end of the video. Did you like the garage door? Or maybe you prefer it when it's night time? Oh, spooky, ominous. So the torches are to the side. Get a good look at that. And yeah, looking pretty sweet. So Halloween is just around the corner. Plenty of skins are already being submitted. We're expecting another instance of a wallpaper pack. Are we going to get a Christmas one? I remember when I first saw them for Lunar New Year, I honestly thought we're going to get one for every holiday event. I didn't get one for Valentine's, but didn't get one. We didn't get one for Easter as well. I thought Easter would have been a good shout. But here's another question. Will they be brought back every single year? Or will they slowly add more every single year? Or will they add different packs every single year? And don't forget, Lunar New Year wallpaper pack, that sold for about, what, $8? Still sells for $8. So clearly people do like them. Alright then. So that's a wrap. That is September. October's next. Good job, Hedge. Halloween. I hope we have fun. Will we see bone walls? That's a good check. Where's the bone walls? Where's the bone wolves face? Oh, face punch. Where are the bone wolves? Unbelievable.